So let me first start by introducing myself. My name is Leah. I am a certified wellness coach. I own the company Balance Life with Leah, where in addition to hosting these master classes, I am also teach nutrition. I teach nutrition from a perspective of both the science and holistic space to people who don't may not necessarily have a holistic or science background. So I teach it to the everyday person. Um, I also host a wellness website where I bring in many people's ideas around different holistic concepts. I also bring other people's wellness journeys into the website too, where I like to showcase different people's journeys and how they got healthy and just how they got successful even, or how they had their aha moments, whatever it is. I like to showcase those stories too. So if you haven't seen those things, I would also take a look at all those as well too. So today I really wanted to do this class because I really wanted to do a master class on weight loss, but really everything I'm going to teach everyone in this class is not just really pertaining to just weight loss. It's, you know, anybody who's struggling with, a healthy eating diet, a healthy eating regimen, or just they don't know where to start, or maybe they struggle with just the motivation or consistency or the confidence to get it done, that's who this class is for. So, really, it's marketed as a weight loss class, but it's really the concepts could be applied to a lot of people depending on their own personal health goals. Okay, so even if you're watching, you're like, I don't need to lose weight, but maybe you're struggling in something else and you just can't take that like next leap, this class is also for you too. And what I'm going to teach you will also help you as well. So if you are struggling with just eating, not knowing what to eat, or maybe, like I said, confidence or the motivation to get it done, this class is also for you too. No matter what your journey, what your path is to health, whatever that looks like for you, this class is also for you too. So thank you for joining me, and I'm excited to do this with you guys. So today I really wanted to delve into mindset in particular. And that's part of the reason why I titled this course Undiet, because it's really, when you're talking about losing weight or getting eating healthy again or whatever it is, it's so much more than the diet. And I think unfortunately diets have such a negative connotation where, you know, this, right? Anytime you heard someone say diet, they're like, oh, I don't want to diet. Or it's, it means like you're going to restrict yourself, or you're doing this thing that's like really hard, but you have to do it. You know what I mean? There's such like a negativity against it. So I really want to show you guys that A, you don't have to. And two, it's actually better that you don't. And three, it's so much more than the food on your plate. So majority of what I'm actually going to teach in this class is everything that's not food. Yes, we will go over food. I will. I plan on doing that. But majority is just how can we fix our mindset to set ourselves up for success. And that's what I want to show you, because I think we all kind of on some level know what we should and should not be eating, but what is it that's holding everybody back from actually doing that, right? Because if everybody was just eating well all the time, there would be no problems, right? Everyone would be perfect weight. Everybody would have no health issues. There would be no diseases, right? Everybody would just be easy breezy, feeling good, right? But for whatever reason, even though people know on some level what they should be doing, why aren't they doing it? You really thought about that? Like, why are these people struggling so much? And that's because the kicker is mindset. And how can we fix that? How can we really adjust our brains to set ourselves up for actual success? And that's what I want to teach you in this class. How can we actually set ourselves up for success? So, today I want to talk about how can we really motivate ourselves to achieve the health goals that we actually want. Okay, so that's what I want to teach you today. So what you know what is holding you back from being motivated, right? Is it, just not knowing what to do? Maybe you're just overwhelmed by too much changes, if you think you have to overhaul your diet and that's like overwhelming, or maybe it's just the uncertainty of what to do, or the stress of, you know, maybe you don't think you'll be able to do it, or maybe just if you have a setback, what do you do? Do you just throw in the towel? Do you start over? You know what I mean? Like, let me know in the comments, what are specific things that are actually keeping you from doing what you know that you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so let me know in the comments what those things are. Maybe you were doing really, really well and something happened, like life happened or whatever, and you stopped doing whatever you were doing that was working, and then you're like, just don't know how to get back into it again, right? Like, what is the fear? What is the block that's holding you from that? You know what I mean? Like I said, it all kind of stems from some sort of block in our brain that's keeping us from doing the thing we know we're supposed to do that'll make ourselves feel better, right? I'm hoping this makes sense. And let me know if it's not. Right, so that's what I want to try to help you guys with in this session, is how can we overcome those blocks, all right, that's keeping us from being in the place where we should. All right, so the first thing I want to let you guys know, this masterclass is not, a quick, lose weight and be on your way. Like, it's not like a temporary quick fix thing. No, the strategies that I want to show you are hopefully long-term strategies that you can apply even when this course is over or when you're done watching, right? Because I don't want you to just lose like whatever weight it is you want to lose, and then that's it. You didn't really learn something, right? Because I think for a lot of people, they're losing weight really quickly. They didn't really learn anything, and then they don't know how to get it back. And then it's like it's like a cycle. You know what I mean? I hope, does that make sense to anybody? Let me know if that doesn't. So I want to teach you how to lose weight properly and healthy. Or, like I say, when I say lose weight, I don't mean just losing weight. Whatever that health goal is, I want you to get to that health goal in a healthy way, and I want you to be able to stick with it, okay? So that's what I want to teach you in this class. So, because most people, they just want a quick fix, right? And then it sets them up for failure, because if they don't see the results they're looking for, they might get discouraged and then quit, or they might feel defeated, or they'll just give up, or maybe they'll try the next like shiny new weight loss trend or object, you know what I mean? And they'll just keep going through this cycle. And I say this out of my own experience, and also just from what I see other people doing. A lot of me losing weight stems from also my own personal experience. It's kind of where I first, well, not kind of, it really is. So when I first started my wellness journey, when I was in my 20s, say like 22, 23, when I got out of school and I realized I had to eat for myself and I had to lose weight. You know what I mean? Because I basically partied too much in college and ate garbage in college. And then when I left, obviously I was a lot bigger than when I started. So, and when I was on my own, I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. So of course I spent my whole 20s going from different diet to different diet to different diet. None of them really worked. In fact, I kept gaining weight, right? Even though I was doing all the right things. And now in reflection, I know what I was doing wrong, and I also know what changed for me to finally lose weight and to finally keep it off. So now I'm also doing it again because I had a baby. So right now my issue is just, not really issue, but my struggle, I would say, is just losing the baby weight that I gained. Because when I had my second kid, I knew at the time I was stress eating. I knew at the time I was eating things I should not have been. But my second pregnancy was a lot harder on me mentally, so I definitely stress ate a lot more than I probably should have. So now I'm kind of, I have all that extra, stress weight on me that I want to lose, because frankly, I just want to be able to fit in my pants again. I know it sounds silly, but really I just want to fit in my clothes again, because I have like no clothes to wear at the moment. But that's part of my reason, and we'll get into more of my why in a second too. So the first thing I really want to talk about is our first assignment. And I did, when I was telling you guys about this class, I mentioned that I am going to give you guys actual assignments, because like I said, I want you to come out of this actually getting something from this. And the only way you can do that is if you actually do something, right? You can't just watch, absorb, and then do nothing, right? You're not going to get any progress. Nothing's going to actually happen. But if you watch this and actually do the exercises I explain, then you're actually going to see something happen. Okay, so I hope you have a journal or a notepad or something to write in, because I am going to give you actual things to do, like I promised, because I really want you guys to actually get successful when you're done watching this. All right, so first exercise I want you to do is a journaling or notebook exercise. Okay, and it might seem kind of silly on the surface, but this is really important, because what I want to help you guys actually figure out is your actual motivation for doing this. Because if you don't know your motivation for wanting to get to this healthier place, you're not going to get there. There's nothing going to drive you there at all. Okay, and when I talk about motivation, I don't just mean fitting in your pants. What is the actual motivation for doing that? Okay, so the first thing that we want to figure out is your legitimate why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to get to this healthier place? Okay, and we want to figure out the real reason, not the superficial, I want to fit in my pants reason, right? So what is your actual reason for wanting to get to this, healthier place? So in order to do this, I would recommend this like why exercise, where you ask yourself a series of why questions. And I would actually write all this down, even if you never look at it ever again. And to be honest, it doesn't matter if you don't. But the physical act of writing it out will help your brain kind of process everything, and you'll actually come to terms with your real reason why. Okay? So, for example, you start with, okay, why do I want to lose weight? Now do me. Because I want to fit in my pants. So why do I want to fit in my pants, right? It's because I don't feel comfortable wearing what I'm wearing now, because all I'm wearing is sweatpants every day. I want to wear real pants. Okay, so why do I want to wear real pants every day? Because I want to feel more confident in my own skin. I want to feel more confident when I see pictures of myself, when I'm in front of people, etc. So, okay, well, how will that confidence help you? Why? So, okay, well, that confidence will make me show up more, show up more for classes like this. It'll help me show up more in just my day to day. You know what I mean? It'll help my relationships more, because I'm more confident in my relationships. Therefore, my self esteem will improve, and I'll actually feel like I'll do better in just my job. I'll feel like I'm doing better just being with other people. I mean, it'll just boost my overall confidence. So that is really my ultimate why. It's just boosting my confidence so I can perform better in my personal relationships, but also in my actual job, which is being in front of camera all the time and helping people all the time, right? Because I'll be honest, right now, even though I know it's superficial, but I'm human just like everybody else. And for me, my external, I want to make sure I feel confident in my external, so it makes me feel more confident in my internal, just like everybody else, right? Especially in my field, where everything is so appearance oriented, especially when you're in the wellness space. You want to fit this like image, which I know sounds so stupid, but it's unfortunately just the nature of the game, especially with social media. So a lot of it is just helping my own self-esteem, my own self-confidence to show up more and to bring more, so I can help people more too, because my ultimate focus is helping everybody else, right? So now that you have your why, right, and it's going to be personal, it's going to be whatever it is to you, it doesn't matter what it is, but that's your why, okay? So now I want you to figure out, no, I want you to picture yourself now. I want you to picture yourself already achieving this goal, okay? Now, what is different in your life when after you already achieved your goal, okay? So are you doing something differently now than maybe you aren't now? I mean, are you different in your job? Maybe you weren't now, right? This goes back with what I was thinking for myself, more confident, more motivated, and how that would help me in my actual job, which would also help me perform better in my job, right? So are you more secure in just your day-to-day life, right? How will this more confidence, more security actually manifest into other areas of your life too? Because a lot of this dwells down into confidence. A lot of external has to do with self-esteem, which relates to just having the confidence to be our best selves, right? Because when you're healthier, you feel better. When you feel better, you're more confident, right? So, we can also bridge this into how would this make you more confident as a person, right? So you can think about that. So you can picture yourself as this healthier person, as this more confident person, how is your life different? Okay, this new life that you're picturing, you should have an emotional attachment to this. Okay, because that's the key thing. If you don't have any emotional attachment to this new person, then again, there's nothing that's gonna, you know, motivate you to get to that person, right? So you really want to envision this more confident, this more motivated, this healthier version of you. And what are you doing differently that you are not doing right now? Okay? Because confidence leads to other things in our life that we can do, that we can be successful at, that we are currently not doing now. So if you are not striving for the job that you want, right? If you are not, if you're too afraid to go to school to get a whole new career that you feel like you would be better at, that you would actually want to do, right? Maybe you're too afraid to get the ball rolling. Or maybe you're too afraid to talk to somebody new that you really been wanting to talk to, right? Maybe you're single and you want to get out there and actually form relationships or even friendships or whatever it is. And for whatever reason, you're too afraid. You lack the confidence. Maybe you're too afraid to talk to your boss to get like a promotion or more visibility, or to get, to get ahead in your whatever career path you're at. You know what I mean? So think about this. What would a more confident, healthier you actually be accomplishing in your life that you are too afraid of to do right now? That's the person I want you to think about. That's the person I want you to envision. That's the person I want you to write down. Okay? Do you see, like, I'm getting emotional thinking about it because I want you to get emotional thinking about it. I want you to actually think about this person and how much better that life that person's having that you're missing right now. Because if you look at all the people in the world, you look at the people who are doing really cool things and doing the things that they are meant to do, what is the one thing that they have? They have the confidence to do it, and they're 9 times out of 10 living healthy lives. Success and health are together. They're one and the same. All right? Successful people are just healthier. Healthy people become more successful. Okay? So whatever that path is, that's what I want you to put yourself in. What are you wanting to do? What are you leading yourself to? What are you afraid to do now? That's the person I want you to attach yourself to. Okay? Because that's your why. That's your motivation right there. That new you, that person. Okay? And I want you to write it all down, because the moment you write it down, you are setting it into motion. You are telling the universe, this is the person that I want to be. This is the person I am going to become, because you are going to do the steps now to make that a reality. Because when you start a healthier path, when you become more confident, you are going to do the things that you are too afraid of doing right now. Okay? That's your motivation. That's your why. So I want you to write all this down. Okay? I want you to have it somewhere. I want you to look at it when you get stuck. Remember that person. Internalize that new person. Okay? If you have to, make affirmations. A lot of people, they really like to have some sort of like catchphrase or a word that kind of brings them back into check. Whatever it is, whatever you need to help. All right? Because the losing weight is just a byproduct of that new you, of that new confident you, of that more motivated you, of that more successful you. The losing the weight is a byproduct of that. Okay? I hope that makes sense. All right? So for tonight, or this weekend, I would really make sure that you do this exercise, especially if you struggle with motivation to lose weight, if you struggle with motivation to get yourself healthier. Okay? You really got to figure out, what will this healthier version of you be doing that you cannot do right now, and attach yourself to that person and write it all down. Because like I said, the moment you write it down, you are already setting it into motion that that person's going to happen. And the fact that you sat here and watched me and you learned from this and you're doing it, you're already setting it into motion. Okay? That I promise you. All right? So I hope that's helpful for you guys for this session. If you are around, I'm going to start session 2 in like 10 minutes. But if not, you can catch the replay later. And I I'm so thankful you guys are all here, and I'm thankful that you're watching. So please let me know in the comments if any of this resonates with you, and if you intend to do the exercise and how that makes you feel, and get yourself going, get yourself energized and motivated, and let's do this together. Okay? Well, have a wonderful afternoon or whenever you're watching this, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in session 2. Bye.